I am Professor Dr. Seda Bostancı from Tekirdağ Namık Kemal University, and this session, I am the chair of this session, and I am very happy for being in the fourth International Marketing Symposium, and also I thank Seda Yıldırım, Çağrı Yıldırım, Valentin, and all the contributions. And now I will first of all share the first video with you. The Assistant Professor Nirma Jayawardena, the connection between digital video advertising and consumer visual memory. At first of all, I will share the video. So I open the video. So I will share. Yes, and now, yes.
Morning, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be a keynote speaker for the 4th International Marketing Symposium 2025. Today, I'm so excited to explore with you the fascinating connection between the digital video advertising and consumer visual memory, and how our 5 sensors actually play a much bigger role than we often realize. Let me share my slides with you. Now let's begin with the idea of sensory branding. At its core, sensory branding is about promoting a product in ways that appeal to our 5 senses, like sight, smell, sound, taste, and touch. Our understanding of the world actually starts with these sensors. We just don't see or hear about something about the brand, actually we feel it. So these sensory experiences will become the memories that will be stored deep in our brains after some time, and those memories can actually shape how we recognize and connect with the brands. Now, the science behind the effectiveness of the sensory branding is that our basic understanding of environment is through our senses. So as human beings, actually, we are attached with sensory branding aspect on a day-to-day basis. So the simulation offered by our sensors can actually influence our choices, can create a connection with the brand, distinguish one product from the other, and it can also be a part of our decision-making process. According to American Marketing Association definition, sensory marketing means engaging consumer sensors to affect their perception, judgment, and behavior, all to build stronger emotional bonds. These are some of the industry-specific examples of sensory branding. As we all know, in retail stores, they are using bright lighting, red for urgency, blue for trust, and some background music, which will actually make you stay a long time in the store, and also scents. The smell, the brand likes Abercrombie and Fitch use signature scents in stores to create memorable shopping experience. The touch, this often can be noticed in clothing stores, and also the taste. So taste samples in grocery stores that will turn curiosity into purchase. So there are some stores which actually give you the opportunity to try free products, to taste free products. So these things are also some of the examples for taste. And when we are talking about the evolution of sensory branding, actually sensory branding has evolved alongside the media itself, because in the 1950s, the only form of sensory branding was the color with posters, and then television brought into the mix, like catch jingles that still echo in our minds. By the 1970s, marketers realized the power of smell. adjusting sense to make products more appealing. And then today, digital media combines all these aspects with sight, sound, and even haptic feedback on our devices to create immersive brand experience. So when we are talking about the advantages of sensory branding, of course, it evokes our memories and it establishes a strong emotional connection. It amplifies our brand experience, sparks conversations, and even affects how we perceive product quality and value. In short, brands that connect with our sensors connect with our emotions as well, and emotions are what drive the ultimate buying decisions. And then this is a small diagram to show you the stimuli sensation perceptual encoding which happens inside our brain when we are attached with sensory branding. And this is another diagram to show the importance of the 5 sensors. So when we are talking about the sensory dimensions, firstly, it is the visuals, the logos, corporate colors, characters, and graphical tools, the look and the appearance overall. And the auditory aspect, music and voice, the emotional tone, and then the olfactory sense that persuade us directly, and also the taste and the products relating to the taste or the sense of tasting. For example, especially in food and beverage brands, they can promote their products by providing samples to their customers, so they can try the sample, and if they are happy, they can purchase the product. And lastly, the touch or the tactile aspect, so the texture and temperature that give products their physical appeal. Together, they form a full sensory identity, one that's hard to forget. When we are talking about the sensory branding, another aspect that comes to our mind is the neuromarketing. So it's a new form of market research that uses neuroscience tools to measure the emotional impact of communication across all media and translate the findings into actionable marketing recommendations. So neuroscience is about our brain, how our brain reacts to the sensory branding aspects. So here, this is why we should not actually try cigarette or alcohol products even for fun, because nicotine and alcohol interfere with the brain's this particular rewarding system, releasing dopamine, the feeling good chemical. So since the brain becomes dependent on these substances over time for pleasure, the quitting will become extremely difficult. So therefore, this is one such aspect that I would like to pass into the young generation in this audience. And same thing is done through the social media to our brains. So if we are talking about the social media and dopamine addiction, dopamine is actually a chemical messenger in the brain that actually affects mood, movement, and motivation. It is also known as the feel-good hormone. Actually, the social media also triggers dopamine release, because now think about the social media platforms. These are designed with giving likes, comments, post shares, which will give some short-term pleasure loops. So the result is that reduced attention, spam, impulsivity, or even like addiction-like symptoms, because similar to gambling, it fosters reward-seeking behavior and dependency. So this is some example that I wanted to pass. This is one important message that I wanted to pass, especially to our young generation, those who are sometimes overly addicted to social media platforms. So another aspect is like this create a filtered version of life. So sometimes people will feel inadequate because of the unrealistic lifestyles. So this can also lead to anxiety, depression, and mental health to decline. So therefore, sometimes this is about the overall information overload. Moreover, our brains are flooded daily with irrelevant information like
We can't hear.
Yes. Thank you, dear Nirma. Would you like to add something for your speech?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this great and valuable opportunity to be a keynote speaker today. And I truly appreciate this opportunity. And I hope my speech was insightful and supportive here. And thank you so much.
Yes, we also thank you. And now we are going to Associated Prof. Dr. Prakash Singh from AA Industry 5.0 Research Pathways Ahead. Now we are listening, dear Prakash. Term is yours.
Thank you for your time and thank you for this opportunity. Am I audible?
Yes, we are seeing. You can share your presentation. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, we are seeing.
My screen is visible? Good afternoon, everyone. Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. I'm very, very grateful to the organizing committee for inviting me in this 4th International Marketing Symposium. My name is Dr. Prakash Singh, and today I'm going to discuss about the artificial intelligence, metaverse, how different technologies like blockchain are changing the industry. So I'm going to discuss something in context of research, how as a researcher or anyone who is a PhD scholar or as a professor, how we can conduct research on this topic of AI and its impact on industry. These are few of my learning outcomes. So today, during this session, I'm going to discuss about the emerging technologies and the theme, context, methods which one can link for conducting future research. And I'm also going to take some real life example. So first of all, I welcome all the participants, all the esteemed keynote speaker and organizing members. So here, when you are listening me, it means all of us, including me, we are in a world, we are in a environment where everything is managed by technology. Zoom is one example, how Zoom has changed the way of interaction outside the classroom. So whether it is Zoom or any technology, these are changing the world. These are reshaping the world. These are altering the world where we are living. Here you can see what is happening in our surrounding. You can take example of Boston Dynamics, or you can take example of Tesla, how their cars are trying to align with human beings. So that is a great example of human AI interaction. You take example of flying taxi or the way drones are used. And recently, the AI robots, which are offering services in restaurant as well as healthcare, and media industry is not something which is away from this disruption. So you have seen some anchor who are anchoring. They are not a human being, but they are a digital avatar. So that is something which is creating an impact on the life of million and billion people around the world. I hope my voice is okay and my audio is not getting disturbed.
Yes, your voice is audible.
Okay. So here you can see different technologies. What are the technologies which we can use or we are using either as a consumer or as a client or as someone who is developing these applications. So whether it is AI, metaverse, blockchain, or you can say LLM, IoT, EIoT, robotics, or you can say the generative AI or chatbot, all of these are the example of latest technology which is changing the business world. And these changes in technology, what they are doing, they are enhancing the customer experience. They are helping in the cost cutting of a company. So a company who had employed more employees, more work manpower, now after the launching of ChatGPT like tool, they have started doing cost reduction. Their efficiency has improved. And that is good for their long-term agility as well as survival in the market. So that is some of the outcome of the emerging technologies for businesses. And these are some of the latest, or you can say, emerging trend, which is going to happen by 2030 or within 3 to 4 years. You can see all these emerging technologies, and many of these are actually in practice in our day-to-day life. You can take example of a drone, you can take example of 3D printing, or you take example of metaverse, which has different form like augmented reality, mixed reality, virtual reality. So these are something which is ongoing trend, which are going to disrupt the way the way a user is using a device, is interacting with machine. Now, let me share you something which is happening in our surrounding with this video related to emerging technology. I hope video is audible and the link is visible.
Yes. We couldn't hear the voice, but it's not important. Maybe you can tell us. Okay.
Audible?
We couldn't hear, but it's good. You can maybe tell us what they are.
Okay. So what I will do, how much time I have, so that if I have time, I can play the whole video, or I can just summarize it in few words.
You can go on without video. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in this video, it was just an overview or the current status of how AI is transforming industry and how that transformation is leading to Industry 5.0. So in that video, there is a lot of uses of AI in different contexts, in different, you can say, activities of a business. Now, when we are saying about the future in context of next generation technology, so here future means fusion, how AI is used and how AI is applied with hardware, with software, with network. So fusion is not with only people or the human being, but the 6 component of computer information system like hardware, software, network, people, process, database. So there is a fusion among all of them. And that's why they are going to create something new for the world, new for the user. Then upgradation, how people are going to upgrade their software, their user experience, and that is going to transform the overall business. And when we are using some services, whether it is online taxi service, or you can take example of online food delivery company, online education. You take any example. So there is a unification of AI, of technology, and that is leading to resilience, how one can survive and sustain. And that is nothing but empowering the business, empowering the employee, making them capable to deal with the challenges in the business. Now I'm going to go in more detail. When I started this word future, here you've seen the acronym of this word future: fusion, upgradation, transformation, unified, resilience, empowerment. So let's start with fusion. So what is happening in our surrounding?
So there is a
As a
time
researcher,
constraint. Please see to it. I have to. We are 10
okay,
people over here. Yeah.
how much time I have remaining?
You have 3 minutes.
Okay, I will finish within 3 minutes. No, don't.
Okay, thank you.
So here you can see the fusion in context of research theme. Anyone who is planning to conduct a research, they can go for the fusion of AI and robotics in automobile industry or in e-commerce industry, how drones are used for delivery, or even in the hospitality industry, in the restaurant, or whether it is healthcare industry. So I have taken here the example of automobile industry, how Tesla has applied AI in the manufacturing of their smart or driverless car. Anyone who is planning to conduct a research, they can go with any methodology, whether it is systematic literature review, empirical methodology, and they can conduct a study in diverse geographical context. Upgradation, any business who wants to upgrade from traditional to digital, or they are going for something omni-channel or blended mode. So they can go for upgrading the technology. So from industry 4 to industry 5. So here you can see the theme. The theme, research theme, is upgradation of industry. How by using different AI tools, upgradation is going to happen. Anyone who is planning to conduct a research, they can consider this topic for conducting their further research. So they can take case study method by taking example of a company which is using this qualitative techniques, or they can go for qualitative interview mode. Third is transformation. How transformation is happening. Like currently I'm working with Saudi Electronic University. My university is doing this transformation in context of teaching. Many universities are offering lectures in traditional method. My university is offering in blended mode. So that is the example of transformation by using LMS like Blackboard, by using different technology to conduct exam, online proctoring. So anyone who is planning to conduct research in context of education industry, they can go and understand the impact or the role of next generation technology on the influence at local level or at diverse geographical level. Unified, how company can use both traditional as well as digital. So by unifying online mode as well as offline mode, so how they are going to use AI, chatbot, blockchain, machine learning to make customer experience very innovative, so that they can provide a good customer touching point. And anyone who is planning to conduct research, they can go and understand the consumer behavior, how will consumer behave, what are the different methodology which a researcher can use. So a researcher can use any method, systematic literature review, or you can say empirical qualitative case study method. And why this is important? So that there may be resilience, business can survive and sustain. Fintech technology is emerging nowadays. Everywhere, everyone is saying about fintech. So resilience is going to be only achieved when someone is going to conduct a research to know the impact of those technology on the survival of the industry. So I have taken the example of banking, where many AI robots or chatbot are used to serve the customer, to support the customer. And finally, the empowerment. How to empower the citizen, how to empower the customer. So I've taken the example of Digital India, the initiative by Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, how he started the Digital India campaign. So one who is planning to conduct either as a master student or a PhD scholar or someone as a researcher, they can understand the digitalization or digital transformation, how there is a impact of this technology on the empowerment as a citizen or as a customer. So this is going to create Industry 5.0, where sustainability is only possible when human and AI both are related, both are linking together. So there is an interaction, there is a human AI interaction for getting sustainable business development. So this is from my side. Thank you very much for listening carefully.
Thank you very much, Prakash. It's very important area, and we have very new informations from your knowledge. Thank you for this. And we have a speaker who is have a little time. So, Dr. Ritu, the speech is yours. You can start.
Oh, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm Dr. Ritu Talwar. I'm a professor of marketing. I'll be discussing about a research paper that is titled as Understanding of the Consumer Behavior Analytics of Kellogg's. So just I'll share my screen.
Yes, you can share.
Yeah. Screen, I think screen is visible to all.
Yes, visible.
So, understanding consumer behavior through Kellogg's marketing strategy. This study explores how product attributes, market attribute, and psychological attribute influence consumer buying behavior towards Kellogg's product. Three factors positively affect the behavior, and these product attributes having the strongest impact. So, this study offers insights for Kellogg's to strengthen through innovation, quality, and effective market positioning. So at present, it has 75% market share in India. Kellogg's leads the breakfast cereal category divided between children and adults. Its financial year 2020 revenue was somewhere around 1.332 crores. So how the research has been done further, 157 respondents has been taken, and through correlation and regression, it has been analyzed. I've kept the presentation simple so that and kept it scripts so that we can cover in time. This cereal snack failed in India initially, and today it is the market leader in the cereal market category. Kellogg's entered Indian market saying they will change the breakfast habits of Indian, but finally they have launched up Indianized, having a global approach by launching of upmas and other dishes, ready to eat products. So Kellogg failed in India because of their misread about breakfast, and it did not suit the taste. It did not match the routine. It did not look like a real meal. The result, what they did, they listened to the consumer behavior, they analyzed, they pivoted, and they came up the certain changes. They launched chocos and frosties, local flavors. They changed the messaging approach. They introduced Iron Shakti for Indian people, offered small, affordable packaging, and changed the advertisement. And today they have some 70% in the Indian cereal market. So your brand might have the perfect product, but without emotional alignment, it would not connect. So, what is the market leadership category they have is 25 million households are reached annually. They have a huge urban great opportunity. So, they have a huge opportunity to penetrate further. So, this is just a recap of the timeline which Kellogg's has in India. 1994 was the entry, then the struggle time, and finally this time where we have 70 to 75% of market share of Kellogg's in India. So, this sample survey was done where different people were data were collected through them, and respondents were there of different categories. Final results which has come up is that product quality, and presentation have the greatest impact on the consumer willingness to purchase Kellogg's product. Attributes such as taste, packaging contribute to brand awareness, brand satisfaction. Market factors including affordability and product accessibility also play an important. And psychological factor like health conscious and brand perception also plays an important role. So finally, I'll conclude Kellogg's from market failure in India to market leader is a strategy which has to be understood, that consumer behavior has to be understood. This Kellogg India stems from balancing global expertise with local advertisement, product innovation, culture adoption, pricing adjustment transferred Kellogg's from an early failure to a market leader. So true global success requires empathy for local culture and evolving customer preferences. So just see how it was a time for a product which was not liked by people, and today it is the market leader and with Indianized things. So this is all from my side. I've kept the presentation crisp so that it is right. This is all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. And also it's very important area, and you with the examples make this presentation very rich. And now we have the live presentation of Ariel Toh. If you are ready, we can. Okay, okay, we are listening, Ariel.
Okay, you can hear me and see my slides, yes?
Yes, we are seeing.
Okay, merhaba, Dr. Seda. Merhaba, everyone. Davetiniz, Cinte Sekule, thank you for this invitation. We know that AI now is not just a dogma. It has been proven by many scholars, one of which 17.3 billion money is currently spent on AI marketing in the recent year. And from 2020 to 2021, there's a rise of predictive AI. But now we are using generative AI for the recent 3 years to generate content in text, video, images, illustrations for marketing purposes. 75.7% intends to deploy AI in marketing, and this will continue to be widely adopted, not just in the marketing field, but across several businesses in the economy. And professionally, in the job sector, there are many consultants and non-marketing roles which are using AI to generate content, which is 300% more than a decade before. So from this year onwards, we do see a 40% increase of AI penetrating marketing field on an annual basis. So what does this mean? There are 3 gaps. Firstly, the studies that we have for the recent 5 years showcase that AI has an impact in the marketing, but it clashes with human novelty, human curated ideas, content, which suggests that AI can still be at a lower quality and lack the depth of its authenticity. There's also conceptual gap, a missing linkage to this authenticity, such as what is the effects of AI that can affect the trust, the authenticity, the brand, the value of a business. Thirdly, there's a theoretical gap. AI-Augmented marketing, in short AAM, intersects with the theory of parasocial interaction, PSI. And there are not many studies which have linked this theory to a topic regarding digital marketing with AI. So this presentation hopes to inspire you, even though it seems to be a very generic title, but it inspires you. How could you solve gaps regarding the use of AI in marketing, whether you would want to challenge the theory about its impacts to the field and to capture more quantitative measures of those effects. So the research aim here is to investigate the interplay between AI solutions affecting the trust attributes, the business authenticity, and the perceived value in consumer. These are some of the 3 questions. For example, how does AI information influence perceptions? what does the extent of AI can drive personalized messages which undermine trust? And do we actually need ethical and control framework as an intervention to mitigate the risk against trust and perception in consumer? So the methodology is to share. We could use sequential qualitative research design to understand this research gap and to answer those questions. A simple literature review can be done, but at a broader scale, at a minimum of 50 peer-reviewed articles, and then to also add another layer of observational case studies. So there is two phases of assessment. The first assessment is a very deep literature review, and the second one is an observational case study of public available information from companies which are practicing AI. So these are some of the companies like Heinz, Coca-Cola, Nike, Amazon, all the big corps, and the list goes on. So we would be able to find at least 30 companies, not just cited by scholars, cited in the public information domain, whereby they are using AI or AAM for marketing purposes. And the hypothesis is this: we have an independent variable and a dependent variable. So for example, we want to measure what is the impact of the perceived authenticity to reduce the brand value, and what is the relationship between the perceived parasocial factors to trust. So to do that is to do it also in a quantitative manner, while we assess it qualitatively, but then to also multiply the assessment in a quantitative form. So we scale it from 1 to 7. What was the perceived authenticity, the perception on the brand trust, and also the intention for the consumer to continue the relationship with the brand. So we need to compare two things. One is a real company, which is Heinz. The other is a fake company, which is Fizz. So for example, we then can identify what is the quantitative value. If AI is disclosed, what will be the impact? If AI is not disclosed, what will be the impact? And how does this bring a significance to the perceived perception and interpretation to the consumers? So we find that in a real company, when AI is used, a lot of audiences and also the interaction of consumers with that marketing material by a real company like Heinz, they tend to trust the material. They tend to trust the information. This is because Heinz has leverage on their position as an authority figure in the market of F&B. But comparing to a fake company or a new company, potentially a new company like Fizz, and if Fizz also use AI similarly like Heinz, the consumer will not trust Fizz if there's a disclosure. So this is more of the elaboration to show how those figures and statistical significance showcase the comparison of if AI is used by what kind of profile of company. It does show some imbalances, meaning to say, from this study, bigger companies and companies which have credibility as a brand in the market, if they use AI out in the marketing campaign, it's not just merely to improve efficiency in creating content, but it strengthens their position, whereby it has a direct influence to consumer trust and authenticity of the business. But this impact is much less significant and at a higher influential level for new companies or companies we are just entering the business market. Other research results shows that if AI is used to personalize the content. They do simulate some form of emotional connection and more intimacy with the consumer. And therefore, it links to the parasocial sickness. It proves that the parasocial theory has relevance to this study. And secondly, there is also another example. If, for example, Heinz runs a campaign on an AI content, it would still affect the consumer ability to understand why did a reputable company take technology shortcuts. However, the effect to trigger the consumer to move away from the brand may not be as much compared to an unfamiliar company, although there's some slight drop in the trust because the company may have disclosed, hi, I'm Heinz or Nike, I'm using AI. It may not entirely push away the consumer away from them. But if it's a new company, like Fizz or an unknown company, consumers will run away. So there is a need for framework because then we have a separation of the profile of businesses, those new company which is using AI versus the more established ones. Then how can we make an intervention so that everyone is on an equal game? There are many stages that we could implement in the framework. One is to make sure there is a holistic framework to increase trust in consumers by making sure there's accountability, transparency, and integrity in the communication of the use of AI, implementing a layered protocol so that information and data is not just transparent, but treated in a confidential way and with high security. And when there's a dissemination of any AI information, the company is suggested to have a relevance check to its values and principles and to the consumer belief systems and expectations. All in all, if a framework was to be implemented, it needs to be iterative in design, meaning to say every stage links to one another, and it has to be well monitored from the start to the end. The moment AI is planned, designed, invested, and rolled out. The validity of this study also implements a triangulation method because 50 case studies were selected. So during that process is to incorporate an analysis on the reliability to ensure that the measured variable on authenticity is not biased. So we use Krippendorf alpha as one of the category to make sure that when we do the case study and analysis of the literature, it is not done in a biased manner. So the Krippendorf alpha showcase a coefficient of 0.84, which is slightly high than the threshold or 0.80. So is fairly at a good confidence interval that the measurements and assessments can be valid. So in conclusion, AM, which is AI-augmented marketing, is a double-edged sword. It is efficient, useful in the business and marketing world, but it would generate significant systemic risk. Especially now we know how it affects the different profiles of businesses, if they are established or unestablished. And it does have a direct influence to the authenticity, consumer trust. It poses authenticity risks. It links to parasocial interaction, PSI, because it creates a fragile relationship whereby consumers are more vulnerable to have clear perception of the business. Lastly, intervention is needed, not desired, but it's much needed right now. since AI is being adopted widely. And this study ambition to contribute to the marketing theory by integrating a resource-based view with the trust and concept of parasocial. So that's the end of my presentation. And it's nice that we are in the month of November and everyone is online. So kudos to everyone in this webinar. We make it for the last quarter of the year in our presentation.
Yes, we are also very happy for meeting you again.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for your presentation. It was also a case study and the statistical analysis, very important knowledge. Thank you for this. And now we are going to continue with Priyant Banerjee presentation. It's about the transforming global marketing in the age of digital acceleration. So I will screen.
Warm welcome and greetings of the day to all respected delegates. And so a warm welcome and greetings of the day to all respected delegates and my fellow researchers. So today's topic is about transformation and global marketing in the age of digital acceleration. So before proceeding to my topic, I would like to share my feelings of gratitude to the organization for arranging such a great event and a conference. So let me start with a simple question. When was the last time when you were really impressed and moved by a brand? How the things are managed over there? Quite infamously said, I believe that in every pixel of connection, humanity still matters. And that's what it is. So today's global marketing has been transforming in this age of digital intelligence, sustainability, innovation, with human-centric growth. And that's the most wonderful thing about today's marketing policies. So first and foremost, I would like to come across the concept that in today's world, in today's digital transformation and AI predictive analysis world, where re-engineering is used by brands in order to build customer trust and to build a more stronger network of customer chain, almost 92% of the firms globally are integrating AI into marketing workflows. For example, we have got Power BI. In Power BI, now a newer feature across, it has been a year by the way, a newer feature has been artificial intelligence to understand the analytics, how the dashboards work, how the steep and curves are there into the sales volume and many other things. And 80% higher conversion from personalized content. So you can understand that how much artificial intelligence along with human-centric development is being used in today's digital marketing strategies. Now, there are four most important points related to this. First is predictive analysis, second is automation, third is personalization, and fourth is engagement. So we are not just automating decisions, we are accelerating human intent. And how we are accelerating it? It's not just by looking into a problem from a static vision, but it's like showing a dynamic perspective on basis of personalized content which everyone requires. For example, a simple thing would be, I may be like more onto technology paths, but even in technology, there are several distributed fields. For example, some people might like IoT, some people might like devices which are using active computing power, such as workstations for their day-to-day purpose. So based on these personalized demands, how artificial intelligence is being equipped and used in today's world is the major crossover which we are going to come through in today's presentation. Coming back to the main point, sustainability and ethics, that's the first point I would like to discuss about. And that is, today's brands are more greener. As you might have heard about a very popular term known as the carbon footprinting. So you might know this very popularly, that all of the brands are trying to reduce carbon footprints by reducing the amount of energy that is wasted, by reducing the amount of waste materials which are generated, and also using the triple R methodology of recycling the produced waste so that the carbon footprint can be lessened as much as possible. Modern customers demand climate conscious branding, such as you might malls, seeing eco bags and more. Ethical responsibility is no longer a niche, it's a necessity, because if we continue to develop waste and just trash them all around, then in that case a particular point will come where we are into such a situation we are no longer able to access any kind of pure materials, and we are just living into artificial things. For example, in today's world,
Hocam ses gitti galiba.
We thank the presenter for this presentation and this dear Priyant Banerjee. And now I will share. Yes, thank you. And now I will share Yahya's Fikri's presentation. So I will also have information about this presentation. So we can, yes, I will share. Yes, this is about understanding consumer behavior, circular economy perspective on sustainability. Yes, I think you can see the abstract. Okay, so consumer psychology study on sustainable consumer behavior in changing economy is the main topic of this abstract. In particular, we use the concept of circular economy to illustrate how consumers' perception, using, and discharging of goods might change under such a sustainable system of production and consumption. We also go into the psychological aspects that might both encourage and hinder individuals from adapting the spending habits required for circular economies, became widely accepted, eventually supported unsustainable linear production systems over chips to access and prioritizing durability. So we have some information about this presentation, and then now we are going to go with the Vimal Kandra Verma, Tourism Marketing with Special Reference to Aging Consumers. I will show this video also. Yes, I will show the video of this presentation. Wait a minute. Yes, I will show.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. I'm Dr. Vimal Chandra Verma from Siddharth University, Kabilvastu. Today's the topic of my keynote address in this International Marketing Symposium is tourism marketing with a special reference to aging consumers. So let's understand that what aging consumers are and what is tourism marketing in terms of aging consumers. So let's first of all discuss what is tourism marketing. Tourism marketing focuses on promoting destination experiences and services to attract travelers. It involves market research, segmentation, and positioning to create value for tourists and stakeholders. Now let us understand aging consumer segment, because this is very important. If we talk about tourism marketing with reference to aging consumers, then first of all, we should understand where aging consumers are heading right now. So we can see that Japan is at the first place. It has 29.9% population in 2022. And in 2050, Hong Kong will be having highest number of old age people, that will be around 40.6%. So aging consumers represent a rapidly growing demographic with a distinct travel needs and preferences. They seek comfort, safety, cultural enrichment, and meaningful experiences. Let's have a demographic trend with global statistics. Global 60 plus population will double by 2050. As far as the researchers are concerned, by 2050, 60 plus population will be double. And if we talk about India, India's senior population projected to reach 20% by 2050. India, which is known as the country of young people, in 2050, it will be having a home of 20% of senior people. So senior tourism is expanding across Asia and Europe because their numbers in terms of demography also increasing. So let's understand that what kind of tourism behavior of older consumers is there. So older tourists, if we talk about, they prefer for comfort, safety, and reliability. They you can say choose the destinations where they find that these destinations are comfortable, they have safety over there, and that particular place is reliable to visit. Loyalty to destinations and brands that meet expectations. So they basically they are loyal towards the destination and the brands that are going to can say keep their expectations. Connections, as we know that people rarely want to speak to aging people, so they want to have social connections. So they basically prefer to travel with peers, family, destination rather than thrill seeking. They use digital tools. They take help of digital tools. Basically, Why? Because they want to be secure, they want to be, you can say, safe. So they can take help of digital tools also in order to locate the destinations or how they are going to travel to that particular destination. If you talk about motivations and behavior for senior travelers, that is going to motivate to senior travelers. If we talk about barriers, so mobility limitations, since it is difficult for them to go to long destinations sometimes because of various elements. So the mobility is one of the element of limitations for them to go to various destinations. Another is safety concern. They might not go to a destination which is unsafe for them. And digital access challenges. Sometimes some of the destinations offer them, I can say, digital access like entry by card, or maybe you have to have a critical system through internet or like that. So that is also going to work as a barrier for the senior travelers. If we talk about marketing strategies for the aging segment, so tailored travel packages for comfort and accessibility. The marketers can go for tailored travel packages as per their convenience. They should have clear communication and empathy. That means whenever you are designing your travel marketing strategies, then you have to be very clear. You can also offer value-added offers. Next thing, that is digital and experiential marketing for seniors. Few successful case studies are there in terms of senior tourism campaign. One is the Silver Tourism Program in Japan. Another is the Europe Senior Tourism Initiative by European Union, and the third one is Senior Cruise Program by global operators. So these are a few of the successful case studies on senior tourism campaigns. If we talk about challenges and opportunities, so challenges are accessibility gaps are there, then health and safety concerns are there, and then lack of trained staff because they need to have proper guidance. So if it is not available, then it is obviously a challenge. What are the opportunities for the companies? Growth of niche senior tourism as their numbers are increasing. So it's a new niche market. Wellness and cultural tourism, since they look for the wellness programs and they look for cultural tourism. So that may be one area. Since their numbers are increasing, so almost all the countries they.
Thank you for Vimal Kandra for this presentation, and I also welcome Serafoma. How are you? Hello. I will have the last video I will share with you. It is Dr. Komal Ravar's video, The Sustainability of Footprint of Online Food Orienting. I will share the video. Then we are going to transform to fourth session. Okay. Now I will share the video.
Delightful evening to everyone present over here. It is a profound honor and great pleasure to be invited as the keynote speaker today at the 4th International Marketing Symposium. So first of all, I would like to give my sincere thanks to Ma'am Seda and all the organizing committee for providing this wonderful opportunity to me. Thank you once again, ma'am. So I am Dr. Komal Rawat, Assistant Professor, St. Aloysius College, Madhya Pradesh, India. So in this keynote speech, I want to highlight some findings and a new trend which I have done research. So for the last several months, my research has focused on understanding the true long-term impact of a massive global trend, and this is online food ordering. So in this research, I looked beyond the convenience to assess its comprehensive sustainability footprint. As marketing professionals, we are architects of consumer behavior. We have a responsibility to address the negative consequences of the convenience that we create for all of us. So this research aims to provide the data needed to establish a crucial balance between the convenience and the sustainability. So we all are living in the digital age, and we cannot deny the rise of digital convenience. So this digital revolution has truly transformed the food industry also, and we can see that how it is growing. And there is also a concern towards the cost. That means what you are giving, what you are sacrificing for this transformation. So what is the price of this convenience? We must acknowledge the hidden cost. So our study explores the sustainability footprint, which includes three major challenges like potential health hazards, significant food waste, and extensive single-use packaging problems. So these are the three things that we are going to highlight here. And our research objectives. So as I have cleared that we have highlighted three things here. Like the number one, we have the health implication. So in this research, the aim was to explore the health impacts of online food ordering, specifically addressing the SDG Goal 3, good health and well-being. Then waste production, we examined the waste from the uneaten food and problems of single-use packaging, directly addressing the SDG. Every day we are making orders, and delivery timing preferences and how they all contribute to the food waste. So these are the objectives of the study. Now, if we talk about the methodology, so we have used a quantitative and exploratory approach. So nearly 206 individuals who mainly order food online, they have chosen randomly, and their survey was done. So coming to the findings, so as we are talking about the health and ordering frequencies, so we found that there is a substantial positive association with a strong correlation value of 0.9. So when I'm making order, and it's like, what are the problems the people who are doing orders they are facing? So nutrient deficiencies like 11.7%, they respond. So next we have the food category and uneaten food. So why we have chosen this sustainability footprint? Like if we are making order online, it's a good thing. Like, you know, we are getting the food at our doors. But the problem is, like, you know, most of the people, they are not finishing all the foods. Many times due to the delay in timing, or maybe in the, you know, change in the mood, many problems are there. And because of this, there is a problem of the uneaten food. Sometimes because of the quality, it happens. But like what we have done, the research in this area, like the people, like they have the different preference of the food categories. Like, you know, what kind of the food I order online. So like, for an example, I'm going to the, you know, fast foods. I'm not going to the main food. Like these are the different categories. And according to the categories, it was also realized that yes, because of the categories, the, you know, many foods, they are uneaten. And this uneaten food, it is going to our society, and definitely it is creating pollution. So So there is a question mark on the sustainability due to this increasing trend. So what this finding says, like, food category, it is moderately a good predictor of the uneaten food with a correlation of 0.758. This means that food category alone accounts for the 57.5% of the variance in our uneaten food, and which is not harmful for the environment. This problem can also be addressed. So as like there is a need to focus on this area. Now next, coming to the consumer habit. So the consumer habit, like why you want to make the order, why you want to do the order food online. So there are many behavioral differences, like who are mainly doing this. Things we have highlighted here, like like who and what. That means like which is the top platform or the app from where we are ordering food online. So in India, the study is conducted in India. So Zomato, it was the top platform. Top category, like which food category we are mainly ordering online. Perfection, it was the category. And the family that this particular food, it is good for our health or not. So to eat. So this all disturbed. And research model I have established here, promotion, it can be more like such as discount for choosing reusable packaging and discount for placing bulk orders. And for the consumers, the study's top suggestion, order less frequently. And also prioritize the healthy options and check restaurant hygiene rating. So it was suggested through this study. And thank you once again.
Thank you also Kamal Ravart, we thank. And now we can still have a presentation, Valentin Vasilev. Now we can listen your presentation. Term is yours. We couldn't see your voice. Open your voice also.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to be with friends, with colleagues for different, some technical problems maybe. See my presentation?
Yes, we are seeing your presentation.
Okay, thanks. My presentation is, my topic is different because our topic is about motivation, about human resource management, about our idea in take part with gamification, with a very interesting kind of training resources and instruments. What is the presentation about? This presentation introduces an original brand that since early this year has been successfully applied across numerous organizations in Bulgaria, including public administration, business enterprises, schools and universities, NGOs and youth organizations. The model's foundation, enriched by elements of gamification, makes it both practical and highly attractive in real-world context. Key focus areas motivation 4.0 include emotional intelligence, social responsibility, green human resource management, and benchmarking are storytelling. Beyond these dimensions, Motivation 4.0 is designed as a flexible, reflexive model that adapts to the challenges of a rapidly changing organizational environment. It supports leaders and human resource professionals in aligning individual motivation with collective sustainability goals, bridging the gap between traditional human resource management practices and the requirements and the circular economy. By fostering resilience, creativity, and a culture of collaboration, the model positive human capital not only as a resource to be managed, but as an active driver of innovation of long-term sustainable transformation. So, what's about our model? Motivation 4.0 is a concept and model for anyone striving to be more effective in life, whether as an individual, leader, a manager, or an organizational pursuing lasting employee motivation. Why Motivation 4.0 is interesting for practical experts? Because the model integrates gamification, storytelling, and interactive training techniques which stimulate collaboration, creativity, and social responsibility among individuals and organizations. The analysis includes examples from the public sector, business organization, and educational institution, demonstrating how Motivation 4.0 can be integrated into change management processes related to sustainable development. That's why findings highlight that the model functions not only as a human resource strategy, but also as a means of building a resilient organization culture where people are perceived as the main drivers of the green transformation and circular economy. What is the Motivation 4.0? Through Motivation 4.0, we create a space where people become more motivated, more connected, and more purposeful through powerful models, engaging experience, and thriving community. It is the culmination of over 25 years of experience. Mine and my teams, and Vasilev Serafim were one of key members of our teams. That's why Motivation 4.0 is managing and developing human resources driven by the guest to enhance employee motivation. This experience comes from classrooms and lecture halls, conferences and roundtables, enriched by publication and scientific insights. Over time, Motivation 4.0 has evolved into a sustainable management tool implemented by numerous organizations and recognized with prestigious awards for best practice in Bulgaria. It is a model for continuous personal organization growth, offering proven practices that modern organizations can apply to boost effectiveness and efficacy. What is the Motivation 4.0 may be the key part of this model is that the model is applicable in various organizations, from those for public administration, business organization, schools for students and teachers, youth organization, and others. Four keys of our model is emotional intelligence, benchmarking or storytelling, green human resource management, and cooperative social responsibility. That's why the model is a large state of privilege to be practical instrument. Who is the model intended for? Anyone looking for a way to be more effective in their life, everyone who is self-developing, every leader and manager, and any organization seeking solution for sustainable employee motivation. The book has four aspects, four parts of each aspects of our model, for emotional intelligence, for storytelling, green human resource management, for customer relationship management. Very interesting that our model is strongly positive energy when we take part of some gamification, some trainings, the atmosphere is very calmly, very smiley, and very different. By the end of the year, the board game will also be available in English, while currently the project is being prepared in Russian, Macedonian, and I hope in Turkish. For customized trainings for the individual components of the model, I have already been developed. A new product is ready to reflection cards, remotivation, which will also be part of the game. The model is a true management treasure because leading to high motivation, positive organization culture, and many smiling employees. We hope that the best is yet to come with Motivation 4.0. That is our team, Dr. Vesela Serafimova, Dr. Monica Icheva, and I, Valentin Vasilev. Thank you for our cooperation. Thank you for this very interesting presentation. And I also like to express my appreciation for the excellent cooperation with my colleague from Tekirdağ Economic Kemal University, with whom we have built a strong, fruitful academic partnership. Thank you very much for Professor Seda Yıldırım, from Professor Seda Bostancı, of course, for Professor Durmuş Yıldırım. Thank you very much, dear colleagues.